How erosion happens during transportation. From our other video, we know that erosion is the wearing away of rocks over time, and that there are 4 erosive processes, these being hydraulic action, from the action of moving water, combined with the gases trapped within the water, and we have abrasion, where 2 rocks rub against each other, this process wearing away the softer rock over time. The third process is attrition, where rocks can collide, fracturing and so breaking solid rock into smaller fragments. The fourth and last process is solution, for example when slightly acidic seawater corrodes alkaline rocks. Erosion happens during transportation, when rocks are moved from one location to another, this happening via 6 different methods, which we can simplify to 3. The first is by wind. When the wind blows, it can be very strong and forceful. So with locations such as offshore stacks, when storm force winds blow, stacks can be destroyed and toppled into the sea. In deserts, when the wind blows, sand can be carried by the wind, blowing across a surface, onto a cliff face, which is like being hit with many smaller but forceful impacts. The weakened rock face, when subjected to millions of tiny impacts, is eroded further backward. More storms causes more erosion, further eroding the cliff face, so that over time, the cliff face recedes further and further backward. At the start of the process, the grains and rock surfaces are large and angular, and as they are eroded, they become smaller and more rounded. So our cross-section here, with the angular edge cliffs, is not correct, as this outline would result instead, with surfaces being more rounded and sandblasted, as exemplified by these features in the desert of New Mexico. Our second method of transportation is by water, which we can further simplify into 4 methods, the first being by ice, in the form of glaciers. Glaciers are flowing rivers of ice that erode soil and solid rocks as the mass of ice moves down slope, plucking fragments of rock from the bedrock as the ice moves forward, the pebbles here causing abrasion against the bedrock, further eroding the rock, so that over time, when we compare the pre-glacial surfaces with the post-glacial surface, we can clearly see and compare how much rock has been eroded away. Wow! The second way water can erode is by rain. Take this sloping bedrock, upon which we have a layer of soil and its overlying vegetation. On rainy days, the effect of the falling droplets of water is the same as being hit, with many smaller forceful impacts, the raindrops displacing and breaking up the particles in the soil, eroding the soil. Over time, our once soil and vegetated covered surface wears away, exposing the bedrock, which can itself now be eroded, this process speeding up due to the lack of overlying protective layer of soil, such as we see here in India and in sparsely vegetated surfaces in North America. Our third waterborne method of erosion is by rivers, within which we can find all 4 of the erosive processes in action. Take this river, which could possibly be of flowing acidic and so corrosive waters. Within it, sediment is carried along, each grain exerting a force when they hit the riverbed, eroding the riverbed by both attrition and abrasion, creating potholes, which with further abrasion not only erodes the potholes wider, but deeper too, enlarging the potholes, which can fill with sediment and expand over time, as this seaside example highlights for us. The fourth way water can erode is by our oceans and seas, and can be very clearly shown by the sea stacks known as Old Harry Rocks in Dorset in southern England. Composed of the softer Cretaceous age limestone called chalk, these sea stacks form a stunning coastline into the sea. This sea stack here, when viewed at low tide, can be seen to be made of gently dipping bedded limestone, its sides now marked by wave-cut notches, due to erosion over time. These notches formed by the combination of water waves continually hitting the stack, with the air bubbles trapped within the waves too, as well as the sediment that the waves carry within them, which in combination with the acidic seawater, all continually erode the weak calcareous rock, forming the feature we see today. Our third way that erosion happens during transportation is due to the force of gravity. Take this cliff face, and this fragment of rock, which is heavy, and gravity is pulling it downward, until one day a crack appears, causing the fragment to break away from the cliff face and tumble, hitting the floor and shattering into angular fragments, forming scree, as we can see here below the dolerite sill of the wind sill, intruded into carboniferous limestones in northern England.
That's amazing!
The 3 ways that erosion happens during transportation: by gravity, by the wind, and by water, further divided into the actions of glaciers, rain, rivers, and oceans. Do watch our video about an introduction to the process of weathering.
Please subscribe to my channel. Bye!